recording. And do you see my screen?
You asked for the homework in the end of the last class, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, because I had to leave before the class finished. I had to go to work. I had to print my material to give in my class, so I couldn't hear about the homework. So I didn't do it or make it.
Okay, Daniel, don't worry. It wasn't a long writing or anything. It was actually this that I'm projecting. We were about to practice how to be diplomatic. This is something we will start today in the class. But before that, I mentioned I want to see what you already know. So I gave you this as homework. You were supposed to rewrite these negative remarks diplomatically, okay? We analyzed a little bit of how diplomatic writing looks like in this letter, okay? I don't know if you remember, it was a rejection letter on which, yes, the candidate applying for a job was rejected, but it was not very direct and it wasn't very cold either. Okay, why? Because the person was being diplomatic. You probably remember we did an analysis of this last class and you check the kind of expressions, you check the layout, the technique the person used, okay? So here we have these 5 sentences. And as you can see, they are negative, remarks, okay? The first one says, your restaurant is too small for our meeting. As you know, sometimes people rent spaces in restaurants or common areas to have meetings. Okay, that is very common right now. And this person wants to express the restaurant that is offering this service is too small. So how can we say this in a more diplomatic way? Okay, so let's check one by one. Okay, Arely?
Yes. I wrote, even when your restaurant is a nice and comfortable place, we cannot consider it as an option because it is too small for our meeting.
Okay, it's more diplomatic and you're saying good things, but at the end you mentioned that it's small. Just even, maybe you can say even though instead of even when in this one, in this particular example.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Very good. Who else would like to share? Okay. Letty?
Yeah. Second, thanks for the information. We are impressed with the facilities of the hotel. However, we are looking for a 10 minutes, I don't know, 10 minutes commute? No.
Okay, it might be a 10-minute commute.
From the town center.
Okay, that's a really good example of number 2. Okay, number 2 is talking about a hotel that it's far away from where you need it to be. Okay, anyone can share examples 1 and 2 to see different options?
Sorry, commute, is it okay?
Commute is the distance between work and the place where you work and home.
But
or you can say between 10-minute distance.
Okay.
You can also say a 10-minute distance.
We are looking for a 10-minute distance from the town center.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Better 1 and 2, please.
Well, number 1 says, have you ever considered booking a bigger place for our meeting? I think it's a bit small.
Yes, the grammar is correct, but you need to send the answer to the restaurant.
Okay,
Right.
because I just understood that we have to be more polite with the sentence, not according to a letter.
It's supposed to be like a reply.
Exactly.
Like
yeah, because in the second one I did the same. How about going somewhere closer to us? I didn't answer anything.
Exactly. Your sentences are correct if they were if they were discussing this, right? For example, if a person from your staff or from your team suggests that restaurant or that hotel, it's a polite way to ask to give you a different opinion.
Okay,
But
got
don't
it.
worry, you will get ideas of this, okay? Who's next? Somebody else raise hands. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Armando?
Yes, voy a leerlo. I want to read. Okay. Dice, I love your restaurant and your food is amazing. I consider the service is the best in this side of the city. And I am grateful to you for your interest in organizing the next meeting for our company, but I found a little inconvenient with it. The problem is that the company needs a private room for 50 people and your infrastructure doesn't have that characteristic. I will consider your place for next meetings. Sometimes we need a smaller room that we need in this moment.
Very good. Just one suggestion, convenient. Convenient.
Convenient instead of what?
You mentioned convenience, I think. Well, I heard convenience, but it should be convenient.
Inconvenient.
Okay, you said inconvenient. Perfect then. It's a very good diplomatic response. Okay, you have no problems with this. Excellent. How about number 2?
Me too?
Yes.
Okay. I want to be grateful with you for your interest in providing all the information that I required. I am glad with your facilities and the cost of your service is wonderful. Unfortunately, the logistic of the plan changed and we need a hotel nearer to the center. However, I keep the information for the next tours. Thanks for everything. Respectfully, Hector Sanchez.
Very good. You are really diplomatic, Armando. Excellent. Okay, next one, Eric.
Hi, good morning. Hello. So we're supposed to rewrite this on diplomatically, right? The first
Yes.
sentence only, right?
I mentioned
Right.
your name because
So
you're
what?
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just making it out. I'm winging it right now to see how it is.
Okay.
So okay, so let's begin with hello. I apologize for the delay reply, but I believe we're looking for a bigger space since we are looking to accommodate over 25 people, which is in your location is not available. But we keep looking and I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Very good. Number 2.
Would that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
All right. Number 2 will be, according to my, well, it will be the same start. Will be hello. Thank you for your reply. I believe we're looking for a nearby location where what is closer to our workplace, so people don't have to commute too long. But we'll keep looking, and I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Okay, you're getting right there. No problem. Just instead of using I believe, because this is a for sure thing, you can use a different expression because I believe it's like we might still check, right? So you have to be firm but diplomatic. Okay, as in your peers example. Excellent. Who wants to share number 3?
Me. I don't know if that's
Can I?
okay.
Areli.
Okay, let's do the 3 of you, Bere, then Areli, and I think also Eric.
Thank you, Miss. Okay, the rooms are amazing and gorgeous. However, we can't afford them. I was sure.
Okay, the rooms are amazing. However, we can afford them. Yes, just elaborate a little bit more on good qualities sometimes. Okay.
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 When I said amazing and gorgeous, maybe I can add more about the rooms.
Or
The
something
view.
like, maybe not about the rooms, but you can elaborate a little bit more saying, well, it fits our expectations. They are amazing. They are gorgeous. However, or we would love to choose you, but because of monetary issues or financially, we can.
Okay.
Something
Thank
like
you,
that.
Miss.
You're welcome. Areli?
Yes. I have received a lot of good comments about your hotel. We love the rooms, but we have already discussed about the price and we are not able to afford it. I mean, it exceeds our budget.
It exceeds our budget. Very good, very good. Okay. Eric.
Hello. We've been looking to you. We're looking at the rooms on the pictures on your website, and they are beautifully designed. Yet, they are out of our budget. I'll be in contact with you. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, direct but polite. Number 4. Anyone else? Constanza, Alma, Gloria, you weren't here, so you didn't know about the homework, but Constanza, can you give us an example for 4?
I'm sorry, teacher, but I didn't do my homework.
Okay, don't worry about it. Alma?
No, sorry, teacher, I didn't do it too. Sorry.
Okay. Who wants to participate then with number 4? Bere.
Me.
Okay, Miss.
Bere, Arely.
I was listening to your sound system and I was considering on buying a new one. What do you think? I'm like too fast.
Don't worry, don't worry.
I don't.
We will look
Sure.
at suggestions for this.
Yes.
Okay? This is just to check what you know and how you would do it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Arely?
Yes. We have analyzed your proposal and it has a lot of good items, but we are seeking for a more modern sound system. The one you offer is very old-fashioned for our project.
Okay, again, it's direct, but you sugarcoat it, so it's very good. It's very good. Number 5.
Me.
Better?
Your selection of food is good. However, I was thinking to myself on having a big change. Let's have an astounding new menu.
Okay, yes, it's not that the sentences are wrong, but as you said at the beginning, you thought of them from a different perspective. That's the only thing. But the grammar you're using it's correct.
Okay, so I have to sugarcoat things a bit more to
Yes,
be
and when you say let's do this, it's like we're going to change it, but this is not
okay.
him. You are imagine that somebody's offering you, I don't know, you're organizing the posada for your company and they send you the menu. So in your opinion and your colleague's opinion, the selection is not very varied. It's not wide enough. So you have to tell this person, thank you, but no. Thank you, but we won't hire you, in a way that it's polite and that it's diplomatic. But you're not giving them the option of changing or something. You're respectfully denying the service.
Okay.
Can I read my number 5?
Yes.
Yes. I wrote, we have tried your food and we can say it is tasty and delicious, even though we are looking for a more varied menu. I will keep your telephone for further events, but for this occasion, it will not be possible to hire your services.
Very good. Exactly. So it's like this, but you're telling them we cannot hire you. We like you. Maybe some other occasion we can use your service. Something like this. Okay.
Okay.
Can I try it?
Yes. Oh, because I saw Letty raising hands and then Eric.
Yeah.
All right. Go, Letty. Sorry.
Thanks. Given that the event will be attended by people of 7 countries, we are looking for a varied menu. We will consider your restaurant for other events.
Very good, Letty. Excellent. Eric?
All right, thank you. All right, after trying your menu, it's very limited to options. Is there any way that we can possibly add any more options to it, or we can hire somebody else with a more variety of food? Is that
Okay,
that work?
the same suggestion I was giving Bere. When you say, is there anything we can do? It's like you're giving the person a chance to do something different. And in this case, it's not what we want. You have to reject the service. You have to say thank you, but no, in a respectful way. Okay?
All right, so thank you.
All right. You're welcome. So I believe we got the idea. Okay, we got the idea on how to be diplomatic. However, now we're going to check some tips on doing so. All right. Before that, do you have any other question about the homework? The guys who didn't do it, if you can do it this weekend and send it to me, and I can give you feedback on your sentences. Okay, if you can, just send it via WhatsApp, right? Excellent. Any question, or can we go on? Is it clear how the homework will be, Gloria? Is it clear? Yes?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So now, what is being diplomatic? Okay, when you are a diplomatic communicator, and believe me, at some point in your life, you will have to be. I know you're teachers, but I'm sure some of you are in a coordinator position, and sometimes you have to be diplomatic with the teachers you hire, okay, or with the personnel you have working for you. And not just in those occasions, you deal with parents, so you have to be diplomatic. Even with students, some of you teach higher levels, so they are adults already, so you have to use language that transmits the message you want, but in a very diplomatic way, okay, not to hurt feelings and all of that. So a diplomatic communicator is someone who can get their message across and convince people to change if necessary without damaging the relationship, okay? That is a diplomatic communicator. Diplomatic communicators use reason. So for example, in your sentences, you gave the reason why not, okay? But they use kindness and compassion. They show respect for the other person. And diplomatic communication is about being honest, but not brutally honest, like Dr. House, okay? Did you ever watch those series, Dr. House? Okay, and I believe that was the slogan too, brutally honest. It's okay to be honest, but sometimes when you're too honest, it's wrong, okay? And in English, and in the C1 exam, whichever exam you take, sometimes you have to be diplomatic, okay? Do you remember the writing we practice about you giving suggestions to a university about the things they should work on and things they should change in their facilities? That's an example of diplomatic language. If you remember, in many of the notes I wrote was, this is too direct, it sounds a little bit unpolite, it sounds like if you were giving an order. Okay, this is why we're checking this right now, how to be diplomatic, okay? So we're going to learn how to do so in both spoken and written language. Okay, so let's analyze how, okay? Gloria, can you help me and read this paragraph?
Yes, teacher. Okay, so diplomatic language in the workplace uses words and phrases that are more, give me a second because I have, yes, okay. Again, diplomatic language in the workplace uses words and phrases that are more formal. When practicing workplace diplomacy, avoid slang. Use language that's closer to written English than normal speech. For example, suppose your office space is very dirty, even though the maintenance crew was supposed to clean it. You could say, this place is a mess, but that's pretty informal. Place has vague, context-dependent wording that suggests casual conversation. Similarly, the phrase is a mess has a distinctly informal tone. To make your language more formal and thus more diplomatic, it would be better to say something like, this work area needs some maintenance.
Okay, are we getting the idea? When we deal with people we know, sometimes in the haste of the moment, we forget how to be diplomatic and we go straight to the point, you know, too straightforward. But whenever you have a higher position or whenever you are working in a formal environment, it's better to be diplomatic, okay? Maybe at home with your husband or wife, no, but whenever the situation is formal, then we do, okay? And again, let me emphasize this part. We are going to learn how to do this because you need it for the writing parts, okay? We need to start eliminating those commands because sometimes what we write sounds as an order or command, okay? It's very different if you say this is a mess or it's too dirty, okay? That if you say this work area needs some maintenance, it's completely different. You're being honest, you are going straight to the point, but in a better way. Okay, no questions so far? Excellent.
Miss, just a second, can you just go back one slide to take
Here?
Yeah. I need to check that picture. Just a second.
Okay,
Thank you, Miss.
you're welcome. Excellent. Okay, let's continue. Now, whenever using English, something that helps us is use polite modal verbs. As you know, sometimes the modal verbs, they have similarities and the use of one or another, for example, may and might, it's almost interchangeably at some point, but there's always one that is considered more polite than the other. For example, using can and could, when you say, can I go to the bathroom, or could I go, or may I? Okay, so check your audience, check the situation. Okay, there is something in English called appropriacy, which means you have to decide the kind of language to use, how formal you want the language, depending on the situation, the person you're talking to. Okay, that is appropriacy. Let's learn about modals here, okay? Eric, can you help us read paragraph 1 and Areli paragraph 2?
Yes. Models give the verb a different connotation or give the whole sentence a different tone. Modal verbs that express possibility can make English sound more polite and diplomatic. Is that it?
Yes.
Yes,
Areli?
sorry, I was muted.
Sorry.
For example, if you haven't received your paycheck on time, you'll obviously want to talk to a supervisor. But telling your boss, check with payroll, they didn't process my pay, could sound rude or demanding. However, if you say, you may want to check with payroll, they might have not processed my pay, you sound much more diplomatic, just by adding the modals may and might. Similarly, if you get a paycheck that seems way too small, saying this pay amount may be a mistake, could you look into it? Sounds much more polite than saying this pay amount is a mistake. Look into it.
Exactly. This is exactly what I found in the last piece of writing to the university, okay? Sometimes it sounds like an order, like look into it, okay? The grammar was okay, but you don't want to give the dean of a university or the director an order, right? So you have to be more polite. And by using modals, that helps a lot, okay? Using, for example, may and might.
So this is
Using could. Yes, Eric?
So this is kind of like giving him, and in this case specifically, it's like giving him the benefit of the doubt kind of thing. Like
In the
this
second
might be
example,
wrong.
okay. When you say they might not have processed my pay, it's you don't want to, let's say, accuse them directly, or you don't want to say it so direct. That's why you camouflage the language you're using a little. Okay.
Teacher, I have
Okay,
found
thank you.
that English writing it's more direct than Spanish, right? In Spanish, we sugarcoat some more things than in English sometimes. For example, when I worked in a company and they say, send the invoice, please. No, it sounds direct. And in Spanish, we would say, hola, buen día. Sería tan amable de enviar la factura, por favor. Entonces, and they are kind of different, right? We need to add more polite words in order not to sound so direct.
Not to sound so direct, and the modals help you. Okay. I don't want to say that one language is more direct or not than the other, because it depends on the person and the situation or company. Sometimes when people are super busy, they just want to send you a one-line email, but it depends. It depends on a lot of different factors. Okay. But believe me, also for the people who have lived in the States or worked in those companies, people are direct, yes. And for example, American employees, they demand a salary increase every now and then, and they go directly, but in a polite way. That's what we have to practice. Okay. So check the models we're using. We're not using can, we're not using other models. We're using may, might, and could. Okay.
I have a question, but it's not related to the subject we are watching. I mean, this is something I have in my head, and I don't want to forget it because I promised myself that I was going to ask it this class. This is the thing I was watching a movie yesterday, and I'm sorry, I don't know what's the problem.
I was watching a movie yesterday's night, and I see that sometimes they use gerund to express future. For example, this person is attending the meeting. When they were trying to say this person will attend the meeting. I don't know when I have to use gerund to express a future action, and when I can use will.
When they use what? Sorry, I couldn't hear the word.
Gerundio.
The gerund. Okay, this is a matter of the uses of the present continuous, not so much the gerund. The present continuous, as you know, has different actions. One of those actions, and probably the most common one, is to talk about ongoing situations. That means actions happening right now, happening at the moment of speaking. That is the ing, okay, in present continuous. But there's another use of this, and it's when you use the present continuous for immediate future, which is for short future. Things that are about to happen, we use the present continuous. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, can we continue with this, guys? No questions? All right. Now, another thing you have to notice, and I believe this is something Arely just mentioned, diplomatic language uses more words, okay? That is a fact, okay? When you use more words in your speech, it sounds as if you were, or as if you are being more careful in what you say, okay? In a delicate situation, sounding more careful is diplomatic because it suggests to others that you're being cautious about their feelings and doing your best to find good solutions without blaming anyone. Okay. With more words, the diplomatic example sentences I showed you before or earlier can be made even more diplomatic. Okay. Now I'm going to display how how these sentences would be. Okay, so let's take a look at how more words can add diplomatic value. Okay, but this is probably what you mentioned, Arel. The more word you use and the more you look carefully for those words, help you.
Like my teacher, one of my teachers in college, she used to say, well, she was from Colombia, and she used to tell us, I don't know why, she was married to a Mexican guy, and she used to tell us, échale más crema a tus tacos when you're writing. She used to tell us that in English.
Super important. Super important.
Yeah, she was telling us, échale más, and if you have more details on your writing, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense.
Exactly, and because it's diplomatic. Armando, for example, in the sentences he wrote for homework, he did that, and they were perfect because it seems you were being really careful in finding the words you're choosing. Okay. All right. I don't know if this is what you meant, Areli, before, or something similar.
Yes, that we need to, I like this word, that you need to sugarcoat the things, and you have to sorry, there are a lot of situations that they are hard to say directly. No, when you say, oh, you look beautiful, it's easy. But when somebody doesn't look so great, you have to look for the right words in order not to hurt her or to hurt him, and then you need to say the thing that you want to say in order not to sound rude. No, that's why I said that we need to use more words to decorate the situation in order not to be so hard.
Exactly, not to be so hard on people. So the sentences I'm showing you right now, the first example of each, it's already diplomatic. Okay, if you remember, the first example was, this area is a mess, or this is messy. Then I said, if you want to be more diplomatic, you can say, this work area needs some maintenance. This is diplomatic already. But if you add more words, it sounds even better, as in your homework example. Okay, so let's read them situation by situation, one by one, the somewhat diplomatic and the even more diplomatic. Okay, so that you can see the contrasts, and this probably better is going to clarify the doubts you had with the homework. Okay, Eric, you raise your hand.
So pretty much like Lady was saying, it's pretty much like sugar coating the sentence, I guess.
It is sugar coating the sentence, and we have to work on this and give you these tips, because remember, in the writings, in the majority of those in exams, they tell you you have to use this number of words. So sometimes students are like biting their nails, like, oh my God, I know it's such a short thing, a short answer what they are asking me to do, and I have to use 300 words. So being diplomatic helps you and saves you in those situations. Okay, this is why writing is commonly the Achilles heel of everybody. This is why we have to practice and check these tips. Okay.
Teacher, is like in the memes, when you have like in the email, con todo respeto, blah blah, in your mind, a ver, idiota, whatever you, something like that you need to find the words not to sound rude, or like that you are not patient or well educated, or sometimes you cannot say the things that you really want to say.
Exactly. It's like the memes. I have experience in teaching the IELTS preparation course, and normally I have memes that I share with my students. So let me give you an example of what Gloria said. Do you all have your cell phones? Let's check this too. Okay, Areli, can you help us read the first example? Oh, Areli. Okay, let's just wait for her. Now she's coming.
I was looking for my cell phone,
Oh.
but I'm going to read this. No problem. I'm going to read this. The one that you are sharing?
In the C1, in
Someone,
the C1 chat.
oh, sorry. Let me go for my telephone.
Okay, yes.
Oh, it's in my pocket, sorry.
It happens.
Yes, hold on. Normal English, I promise that you'll never find another like me. IELTS English, I assure you, under no circumstances, you are bound to encounter someone identical to me.
See how the language changes and you're saying the same. Okay, Gloria, can you read the second one?
Right? Yes, English. My loneliness is killing me. IELTS, the isolation I find myself in brings misery into my life.
It's something like that. Okay, that is the kind of writing you're going to need, and you have to prepare for the IELTS or the CAE, all of those. It's going to be the same. All right. Excellent. So Armando, in the number 1, you will read the somewhat diplomatic, and Better reads the even more diplomatic of number 1. Okay.
Okay, somewhat diplomatic. This word area needs some maintenance.
Even more diplomatic, it looks like the maintenance crew may have missed this area. Maybe we should ask them to double check it when they return.
Okay, as you can see, they're using more words. Okay, more words, more diplomatic. Okay, Daniel, number 2, please read the somewhat diplomatic, and Constanza, read the even more diplomatic.
Okay, you might want to check with payroll. I'm sorry, can I repeat? I'm sorry. You may want to check with payroll. They might not have processed my pay.
Even more diplomatic, I double checked my payroll records and my bank account, and it looks like my paycheck may not have arrived yet. It may be a good idea to double check with this with payroll, just in case they didn't process my pay for some reason.
There you go. Excellent. Okay. Gloria, read the somewhat diplomatic of number 3, and Alma, the even more diplomatic.
This pay amount may be a mistake. Could you look into it?
Even more diplomatic. From what I can tell, my amount of pay on my paycheck here doesn't quite line up with my recorded hours. I recall working more hours than the paycheck indicates. Is there any possibility you could help me looking into this?
Okay, perfect. Do we get the idea? Okay, and this is what is going to help you when you have to write certain number of words. Okay, so this is the best tip. To be able to write all of those words, be diplomatic. We have already checked hedge language and that you have to avoid contractions, but now try to elaborate. As one of my teachers used to say, elaborate more. The answer is correct. The writing is correct, just elaborate more on it, okay? Very good. Now, we're going to put this into practice, okay? This is the situation we have. Imagine you have been trying to find a venue for a large family gathering, okay? You have been trying to find a venue for a large family gathering. Write an email to the hotel you visited explaining why you don't want to use their hotel. So don't give them a reason, don't give them a chance to change situation. Just tell them why you don't want to use their hotel. Use the notes below, and remember to say thank you, okay? Say something positive, deliver the rejection diplomatically, and end on a positive note. This, let me go back for a second. This is what the book showed you on the letter, okay? First, they said thank you. They said nice things. They rejected in a diplomatic way and they ended in a good note, okay? This is an example of this. And here is what you have to do. Always try to memorize this order. When rejecting something, if you have this situation on the exam, try to follow this. Thank you first, say something positive, deliver the rejection diplomatically, and end on a positive note. These are the 4 steps in order. And they should always be like this in your writing if you are rejecting, okay? Then what are the notes that are going to help you? You can mention about a great location, very friendly staff, the view from the party patio is awful, a busy city street, the indoor party area is very open and not all private, possible location for a future business meeting. These are the notes that you can use, okay? You can use these notes in yellow, but you have to remember using these 4 steps that I just mentioned, okay? Are we ready?
These are the ones we need. These are the reasons we need to use.
Yes, the ones in yellow, it's why you're saying no.
1 and 2, okay.
And the steps are in gray. Say thank you, say something positive, deliver the rejection diplomatically, and end on a positive note, okay? I don't want to say how many words. I just want to check the diplomatic language you use, okay? So I'm going to give you time. And when the majority has finished, we checked right here in class. So if you can please do it on Word so that we can project screens better, okay? Let's try to do it in 10 or 15 minutes if possible, okay? I'm going to start checking the time. Can we start? Do you have any questions? Do you understand the activity? Yes? All right, then I won't interrupt you. I'm here, anything you need, and let's start. Everything okay, guys? Any questions?
No, miss, it's okay.
Perfect. Okay, I leave you work. Areli, Eric, you finished?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, let me check who's done. So we have 4 people finishing. We are missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How many words?
No, it doesn't really matter how many words.
Okay.
No problem. Let is also done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Miss,
Yes, Eric.
I think you have your microphone. So let me check. No.
Come again,
I'm
Eric.
done.
I don't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a question. How many words do you recommend us to use in our writing?
It's not a matter of recommendation. During the exam, they tell you. On the exam, they tell you exactly how many.
How many words will you use?
No, I would use the ones that the exam tells me to use. The exam tells you in the instruction how many. They say
Okay.
from 225 to 250.
Around 200.
Between that range. But no, I don't want to say it's always those. It depends on the exam.
Okay. The thing is that I want to practice in case that I apply an exam this year or the next one. I would like to start writing that long. So I don't know how many words to use. I use around 170. But
It's usually between 200. Well, it depends on the activity. There are different writings too. Sorry, some writings are shorter than others, but what you have to do is carefully read the instruction. The instruction tells you what to do. Just don't write less, don't write more, write the rank that they give you in the instruction.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, just 3 more minutes, please. Gloria, Bere, Alma, Constanza, let's try to finish, okay?
Yes, 3 minutes.
Miss, the options in the yellow tab, is it optional, or we have to use them as they are presented here?
Those are, for example, as the instruction says, those are notes that are going to help you. You can use them to explain why not, why you don't want to use their hotel. It doesn't mean you have to use all of them. You don't have to use all, whatever you need.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, if you want, while the other students finish, what we can do is start checking, okay? Because we have to check your writings. So, Areli, can you share your screen? Let me stop sharing mine and I'll give you guys permission to share screen.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's start. Okay, it says, Mr. Canseco, thank you for your quotation. My family and I have discussed about the options we have for our annual family party. The comments I received about your proposal were above my expectancies. We all agree that you have a great location and a very friendly staff. However, we are looking for a more private area with a nice view to the lagoon instead of the busy city street. For this time, it will not be possible for me to consider your offer, even though I have in mind a business meeting that we're planning at the office for mid-July. I will share your information with Angelo, my marketing colleague, so he can contact you by the end of the week to get the appropriate quotation for the company. Okay. I am sure they will find it perfect for that event. Very good. How did you feel in the writing, Arely?
I feel comfortable, but I have some doubts with some words. In fact, this kind of writing help us to increase our vocabulary. So I was trying to get the better words in order not to sound so rude to say the things. I had a teacher in English when I was at university, and she told us that the writing that she told me, for example, that the way I wrote, it was as in Spanish, that we say all the things together. So she recommends me to cut my ideas, so not to get confused at the end when I write. So I try to practice, but I don't know if it's correct. I feel comfortable this time.
It is a really good writing. You did what you had to do. I don't see mistakes. Just at the beginning, it says my family and I have discussed about the options. Here, for example, you can omit about, it's not necessary. We have discussed the options, it's perfect. Okay.
Okay.
We have for a funnel, you're using words like quotation, you're using words like, what other I saw? Appropriate quotation for the company. Okay, no problem. We can use quotation or estimate. Both have the same meaning, whichever you want to use. You are saying thank you to the person for sending you the quotation. Do we all know what quotation means? I don't know if you guys use quotation or estimate, but both mean presupuesto. Okay.
Cotización, I thought that
Cotización, sorry, cotización. Okay, that's the meaning. Excellent, Arely, very good, very good. I see you are improving in your writings. Very good, Arely.
Thank you.
Okay, who else would like to share?
Can I share?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't worry. So who said first? It was Daniel and then?
I
Eric.
would like to read my letter, but I cannot share my screen because I'm taking the class on my cell phone, as you can see, and I wrote the letter on my computer. So I don't know if I can read it.
Okay, yes. It's better for me when I see it writing to check the.
I can send the picture to the chat if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Do both.
Let me do
Read
it.
it and send it.
Okay. First, I'm gonna read and then I.
Daniel, yes? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hear anything I said?
No, well, I didn't. Did you guys know? No.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna read faster. To whom it may concern, I'd like to thank you for offering your facilities to spend time with my family. Your 5-star hotel has one of the greatest locations within the city, close to many restaurants, bars, and beaches, connected to the main streets, besides perfectly trained personnel and one of the most preferential treatments with your guests. Nevertheless, I was looking for something quieter, a place where my family and I can have some privacy and intimacy, since it's a very special moment for us. We've been waiting for this meeting since last year to celebrate my mom's birthday, and looking for tranquility is something impossible by being on the most important and transited avenue in the city. However, I'm usually in charge of choosing meeting locations in my job, and I seriously consider your facilities to suit perfectly with the company spirit. So I definitely like organizing our next business meeting with you. Sincerely, Daniel Morales.
Okay, I didn't hear mistakes there. However, please send the writing. Okay, it
Yeah.
helps me more. Thank you,
Yeah.
Daniel. Very good writing too. Okay, Eric, I think you were next. We will all share, but in different order. Eric,
Yes.
you said you're next.
Let me see how to share my screen. FaceTime, same assistance, camera. Settings.
Yes,
Oh.
you were doing it,
Okay.
Eric. You have to click where it says share screen.
It actually doesn't say share screen.
Doesn't say in your Zoom window.
No.
I think you were doing it and then it stopped.
No, it doesn't really say. It says settings, background, about, general. No, it doesn't say. I mean, can I send you a picture of it through WhatsApp and then I can read it?
Yes, yes.
All right, let me see. Picture. Now I'm gonna send it through the group. There we go. All right, you got it?
Let me see.
Pretty short.
Okay, yes. It's
all right. Hello, Camila.
Camila.
Yep. Hello, Camila. Thank you for the quick reply. I appreciate the manner of attention given from the staff. Although the location is wonderful and the rooms are beautifully decorated, after talking to my manager and considering the open areas and the commute for our employees, I regret to inform you that we are not considering the venue for this event because of the limited amount of privacy available of the rooms and the traffic issues presented in the area. I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you for your time, Eric P.
Okay, I mean, I like the kind of language you're using and the wording. However, I think you misunderstood the instruction. This was not written on behalf of a company. Because you said, after talking to my manager. Okay, this is something you guys need to be very careful with. Okay, whenever you do the writings on the exam, this can make a huge difference between getting a good note or getting a bad grade on this part. Okay, you have to carefully read the instruction. Okay, this, Eric, even though you're using polite words and polite expressions, I see no grammar mistakes, they would probably give you not a high note because even though it is correct, you are not doing what the instruction says. The instruction says you have been trying to find a venue for a large family gathering. So you said, after talking to my manager and considering the areas and the commute for our employees. So what we do, and I'm talking to you now as a person who evaluates the oral part and the writing part sometimes of these kind of exams, one of the first things we do is to check if the students answered the question. That is how we call it, okay? Maybe you say, but there is no question, it's only an instruction. For us, answer the question means that you do exactly what the instruction says. Okay, so in this one, Eric, you didn't follow the instruction. You didn't write from the perspective of a family gathering or family reunion. You wrote from the perspective of a company. So what the examiners do is he didn't understand. So he probably doesn't have enough level of English to understand this instruction, so bad mark. Okay, even though the grammar is perfectly fine. So be careful with this, okay? This is one tip. Another tip, don't write more or less words. If it says from 250 to 270, that is your margin. in between 250. If you write exact 250, perfect, 270, perfect, or in between those numbers. Sometimes students want to write even more. That gives you a bad mark too. Why? Because it is the instruction we evaluators have. If you write 400 words, it's a bad note because you did not follow instruction, meaning you didn't understand, you don't have enough level of English to understand that instruction. Okay, if you write less, the same. Okay, so please try to follow those. Okay, the grammar is okay, Eric? Just check the instruction, okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Who wants to go next? Bere, please share screen.
Ready, Miss.
Okay, it says, Dear Mr. Jones, thank you for your replying my email. I really appreciate all the information you have just delivered just in time. I was delighted with all the pictures you just sent. I could see that your hotel is located in a great area, which gives us an outstanding view. I was so impressed with all the staff you are in charge of. They are all so marvelous and caring about about every single detail. I could see you are so careful about the food and other stuff. I may add that the patio is a bit busy, yet it has a perfect view for, well, a view more for children. However, my husband, it's just a typo, and I are looking for something more private due to we are inviting all of our families and children. It tends to be quite dangerous for them. Additionally, we were comparing costs and we are having some financial issues. I'm afraid I cannot afford it. I will keep your phone number and contact you for another future business meeting, which it will take part in a few months. Another typo. Best regards, Bernice Resendiz. Okay, what can we change from here, Bere? Thank you for replying my email. In the first line, it's perfect. You're thanking. It's correct, all correct. Just, okay, that's me repeating the word. Erase the second just, okay? The information you just delivered just in time. I mean, you don't need that second just. And you could even erase the first one if you want, but the first one, it's okay, all right? Because when you say just, it means they just did. So I don't know if that is the sense you are trying to give the writing. When you say you have just delivered, it means you just got the information immediately, okay? That is the meaning.
Yes,
of
it was in the moment. No, yes.
Yes.
Just in a short time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
So
got
maybe
it.
you can erase it. I really appreciate the information you have delivered to me, or okay?
Yes, Miss.
Instead of just in time. Okay, give me just a second, Daniel.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And then I was delighted with all the pictures. Again, here we're using just again. And I have noticed sometimes better you use it when you speak. So try to eliminate a little bit the use of just so much, okay?
Okay,
I
Miss.
was delighted with all the pictures you sent. I could see that your hotel is located in a great area, which here you don't need it, which gives us an outstanding view. I was so impressed with all the stuff you're in charge of. Here, when you say you're in charge stuff, it makes it a little bit more informal. You can rephrase it saying, I was so impressed with all of your staff, comma, okay, here, remember that I don't know if it was 2 Saturdays ago, I was giving you the suggestion not to use words of emphasis a lot, like so and very a lot in your writing. We actually used the more formal words, okay? You can use very instead of so. Very is more formal. They are all very marvelous and caring about every single detail. I could see, Again, here, so, it's a little bit informal.
It's because I thought so is more formal than very, but you said that's the opposite.
It's the opposite. I
Okay,
could see
thank
that you're very careful about the food and other stuff. When you say here, there's a typo, you're missing the R in other, but other stuff makes your sentence also sound informal. Remember, stuff is one of the words we don't use. You can say another matters or another careful about the food, another, I don't know, detail.
Things
Another,
also sounds informal.
a little.
Okay.
Okay. I may add that the patio is a bit busy, yet it has a perfect view. Here you don't need more for children.
Yes.
However, my husband and I are looking for something more private. Here, instead of due to,
Because
since, you can say since we are inviting, or since we are hosting a family gathering, or since we are inviting all of our family, just family.
hosting, could you spell the word hosting?
Oh, yes.
H-U-S-T-I-N-G?
Host, but hosting, since we are hosting a family gathering, it's H-O-S-T-I-N-G. Since we're hosting a family gathering.
Hosting. Thank you.
Instead of, since we are hosting, or you can say all our family. If you want to use that expression, all our family, instead of families. Or our family and children, it tends to be quite dangerous for them. Okay. However, my husband, there's a mistake too in the spelling, and I are looking for something more private, and we're hosting all our family. Okay, here I think it sounds better if we say hosting all our family, including kids included, or including kids, or including children, and it tends to be dangerous for them. Okay,
And it tends
to be dangerous for them. Okay.
Okay.
Additionally, we were comparing costs, and as we are having some financial issues, I'm afraid I cannot afford it. Okay. Since the next line says, I'll keep your number and contact for a future meeting, you can say, I cannot afford it at this time or in this moment. We'll keep your phone number and contact you for another future business meeting, which will, you don't need it, which will take part or take place, which will take place in a few months. Best regards, Berenice Rosales. Okay, those would be the changes. Just be careful with the use of just.
Okay, Miss.
Better in the first line, you have information instead of information.
Yes. Thank you, Arely.
I have what?
Information.
Information in the first line.
Information.
Yeah, there were some.
It's because when I write, I
Yes.
wrote area, and it was like apostrophe in the letter A, no? Or a grammar, I wrote with double M, and it erased the first.
It has to do with the language of the keyboard, but don't worry, these typos won't happen because in the exam you write.
You have to write it.
Okay?
Yes.
Just
Thank
be
you,
careful
Miss.
with making it sound more formal. Just that. Okay.
Thanks.
Welcome. Okay, who wants to go next, guys?
Me,
For
teacher.
this kind of activities, teacher, how much do we have to write?
How much time? It depends because you have different kinds of writings. For example, the IELTS varies with the kind. But if you want, what I'm going to do for the next activity, I'm going to use, for the next writing activity we have, I'm going to use the time for the IELTS and the next one, the time for the CAE, to practice both. Because
Yes,
some of
Yeah,
you
but that'd be great. I was about to say that, Vasily, if you can put us examples of the actual, like, of, you know,
We did
past exams.
the one on which you wrote to the director recommending, well, recommending suggestions for the facilities. It was an actual exam from the past. And what I'm
Okay.
going to do, and this I really haven't done, because first I wanted you to consolidate the use of this language and the use of hedging and all of the small details, and I haven't pressured you with the time. But after this class, I have to start pressuring a little bit with time. Okay.
Yes, because when we write, for example, for me, it was easier to write in the computer because if you have a mistake, you erase it or you skip some lines. But when you write it in the notebook, you have to make your notes. You have to have the idea, idea, and it's quite difficult. And we lose time. That's why I see.
Exactly. Don't worry. Next time I'll do it like that. I didn't want to pressure you, but now after this, you will be ready to be pressured. Okay.
We need more pressure.
Now, yes. First the basis. Now you need the pressure. Excellent. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Me, teacher.
Okay.
I already
Constanza,
finished the WhatsApp.
oh, okay. Okay. Let me open it. Okay. It says, "Dear Mr. Smith," this one, Constanza? "Dear Mr. Smith, thanks for all the information you sent me for the gathering I asked for. It is full of details. I'm sure that your hotel has one of the best locations in the city. I have been there, and also it has the most friendly staff I have ever worked with. Always, all your crew is very professional. My client asked me for a patio, and I thought in your patio, even though I think it will not be enough for my client gathering. Besides, it is near to the street and she's looking for quiet and privacy. Also, for the indoor party area, which is very open and not at all private, which is one of the most important things that she asked me to have. I really appreciate all the information and I will keep it in order to work together as in other occasions. Yours sincerely, Constanza Chavez Nava. Okay, let's see some corrections, Constanza. Number one, what I mentioned to Eric, please read the instructions carefully because even though the grammar mostly is correct, I don't see a lot of mistakes. You didn't follow the instructions. The instruction was for you and your family, not for a company, not for a client, and your writing is from the perspective of a company, okay? So be careful with those small details because even though the grammar is perfect, if you don't follow the instruction, you get a bad grade, okay? Now what we see, you're talking about past because they send you information in the past. So information you sent with T instead of D.
Okay, yes, teacher.
It is full of details. Then the use of contractions. Try not to use contractions in formal writing. It's considered informal, very informal, okay? So I'm sure without contraction, it's one of the best locations in the city. I have been there and also it has the most friendly staff I have ever worked with always. Okay. With my client asked me for a patio and I thought in your patio. Patio. Well, patty doesn't need a capital letter, even though I think it will not be enough for my client. I see it near to the street. Looking for quiet and privacy. Okay, just in the paragraph where it says my client asked me for a patio, almost at the end, I will rephrase the final sentence, which is also for the indoor party area, which is very open and not at all private, which is one of the most important things that she asked me to have. Just rephrase that a little bit so it sounds more formal. I really appreciate all your information. I will keep in order to work together as in other as in another occasion. Or other occasions you have S, no problem. You don't have a lot of mistakes, Constanza. The only thing is the ones I mentioned, and that you really need to follow the instruction. Other than that, it's okay.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, who's next?
I will, first Armando.
Me. Oh, I don't know, teacher.
Somebody was talking. Who, Letty?
Yeah,
Okay, Letty and then Gloria, please.
Okay, I want to share my screen.
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes. It says, Mr. Diaz, thank you for the information provided and the time you spent showing us the hotel. Okay, you're thinking we are impressed. We are impressed with Edie. We are impressed with the facilities as well as the staff, which is friendly and attentive. Okay, this word, guys, attentive, it's more formal than some of other words I've seen, like nice or, okay, attentive is it's a very good choice of word. However, we're looking for a sea view from the event room. Sea view, are you looking for a sea view? Okay, for sea view for the event room, since there are some members of the family who will attend the event. Okay. Since you don't need comma. It sounds more formal if you say, since some of the members of the family who will attend the event are over 60, and you don't need year-olds, are over 60. The access to the hotel from the main avenue could be inconvenient, okay? Also, it may be a problem, it will be problematic for them to be in an open area. According to the previous one, I am afraid we're not, okay. Here, instead of the previous one, because one will refer to one reason or one sentence, you can say, according to the previous details shared with you, I am afraid we are not considering the hotel for our, it's not a meeting for our gathering. Nevertheless, we definitely will contact you for future events. Yours faithfully. Let me see. Facility, you from the event room. Seeing some members. Okay, you are mentioned this is for a family. So just be careful when you say meeting, it sounds something for a job. It sounds as it's different. Okay. Those are the only mistakes, but other than that, it's very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gloria, you're next. Oh, somebody's texting in the chat. Oh, hosting, no. Gloria, are you with us? Gloria? I think Gloria left. Let me see. Okay.
Can I, teacher?
Yes, just do it. Meanwhile, yes, no problem.
Gloria is having technical problems with her internet, so.
Okay, let's do it, Alma.
Okay.
Dear Mr. Johnson, thank you for your time and attention. Okay. This is also a really good line. When you thank the person for the time and the attention given, very good. I really appreciate all the information you provided regarding the hotel facilities and service. I am very glad to see the excellent quality of the service and the staff, not to mention the great location nearby the city. However, we're looking for a more private area with a better view where we can enjoy a more relaxing and cozy environment. For this reason, we decided to decline your service proposal this time. However, we're considering the possibility of arranging a business meeting in your hotel in the future, since it fulfills the requirements needed for this purpose. Kind regards, Alma Escutia. Alma, no mistakes, very good. I like this line a lot, where it says, where, hold on.
Not to mention the
Not
great.
to mention the great location nearby the city. It's really formal. Okay, very good, Alma, very good job.
Thank you.
See, at the end, Alma mentions that they can use the hotel for a business meeting, but the first part, it's about the family gathering. So you can do that, but not just talking about an office purpose. First, answer the question, and then in your reason, or when you say, we might contact you later, you can mention how, okay? Excellent. Okay, who am I missing? Let me see, Gloria is joining. Armando, did you share yours?
No, yes, in this moment if you want.
In the WhatsApp. Okay, let me see.
No. Here, yes, I think here.
Okay,
Let me check.
yes. To whom it may concern. Okay, in this case, in particular, Armando, you probably don't want to use the expression to whom it may concern, because you know who the person you're addressing to, you know who the person is, because this is a reply to a first contact and to a previous contact, okay? You met the person, they send the information, and now you're replying. So you know the name and last name of the person, okay? Dear Mr. Mena, Mr. with capital M, I want to say thank you for all the information that you sent me. The location of your hotel is amazing. It is a perfect middle point for everyone in the family. The staff is friendly and they provide an excellent service. I don't have any problem with these aspects. However, the patio could be perfect if we had not had the street in front of it. If in front of it, comma, then besides, the comma is in it, then besides, and then no comma after besides. You don't need the article a, we need total privacy. You don't need the article, and it is impossible in this site. Thanks for your service. I'll keep the information for next events. Okay, just suggestions. The grammar is okay. When you say, I don't have any problem with these aspects, you can elaborate more on this, more words, so that it's more, how can I say, more polite and more, I forgot the word, hold on. More, what's the word we've been using?
Diplomatic.
Diplomatic, more diplomatic. Okay.
Okay.
More diplomatic. Also, besides, we need total privacy. It's okay, and it is impossible in this side. It's a little bit too straightforward. So that other line also use more words, rephrase it, so it's more polite and more diplomatic. Just those two lines, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, who else do we have? Let me see. Armando, okay, Alma, Areli, Daniel, Constanza, Eric. Eric, did you, yes, right? We check yours?
Yeah.
I think we're done with everybody. We're just waiting for Gloria, but as Areli said, she's having technical issues. So probably after the break, we're going to, well, I wanted to ask you, because today we started the class later because of my technical issues. I usually give you guys like 10 minutes on Saturdays to wait for you, because normally I have 1, 2, 3 students. But today I had a lot of technical issues. I had to uninstall Zoom and install it again. So we started the class almost 20 minutes late. So I don't want to mess with your break, but whatever you decide is okay for me. If you want, we can skip the break or have the break and finish a little bit later today. Or do you want me to start right on time next Saturday to pay you back for those minutes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think we can finish late.
Yeah, I would prefer to-
I have another class. Yes, me too.
Yeah, many of you. So let's do this. Next Saturday, please, let's just start on time, okay? It's just a matter of minutes, but anyways, okay? So, and I want to give you your break because I know sometimes you don't have breakfast. So let's have the break now and I'll see you back in 30, okay? It's 11:05, so I'll see you at 11:35. Is that okay? All right, thank you guys. And
It's just a favor. I made a mistake because I didn't send the picture before reading the writing I did. So maybe during this break, I don't know if you have a chance, you can correct my writing.
yes, no problem.
Sorry.
Don't worry. And please, Areli, tell Gloria we can check hers after the break. Okay?
Yes, I say here at 11:35.
Okay, thank you. See you guys.
Thank you.